Hello. In this next lesson, we'll be going over hand tools for pottery and the types of tools. Hand tools. There are many types of hand tools used in pottery. Some are used while throwing, while some are used after the clay begins to dry. Many are used at any stage in the drying process, but we'll go over the basic types and the basic tools used for beginning. First, we have ribs. Ribs are one of the main tools you're going to use while throwing. They can be used to shape, smooth, and texture a piece. Ribs can be used when the clay is wet or at different stages of being dry. The drier the clay, the more it will smooth the clay. They can be altered as well to give a consistent, specific shape to pieces, or to add texture to a piece that's already dried. They're used in nearly every single piece of pottery made on the wheel. Texture tools. Texture tools are used to add or alter the surface of a piece. These are normally used when the clay is wet or just beginning to dry. They come in rollers, stamps, mallets, and many more. They can literally be next to anything. For example, if you use a dried out corn cob, it will leave a specific texture that's very pleasing on pottery. They add character to your pieces, but they're not completely necessary in every piece. You can get away without using a texture tool. Trim tools. These quickly become the most useful and diverse tools in the collection. Trim tools are used to trim off excess clay from pieces after they have begun to dry. These can literally make or break a piece. You have to be careful when using them because if you trim too much, you put a hole in your piece. If you trim too little, your piece is heavy and clunky or not the shape that you're looking for. These can vary a lot. They can be anything from a standard trim tool that you would buy in a kit to wire trim tools, which can be used for carving out solid pieces into hollow pieces, all the way to dental tools, anything that can clean up the surface of a piece or alter it in the way you're looking for. Lastly, we have the stick tool and the wire tool. These are the last two tools of the basic tool set. The stick tool is used to shape the bottom of a piece before it's going to be removed from a bat. It can also be used as a texture tool or to alter the exterior of the piece, but its main purpose is to give a lift to the bottom of the piece before it's removed from the bat. The wire tool is actually used to cut the piece away from the bat. This tool can be avoided and should be when can. It can be avoided by using multiple bats. You still have to eventually use it to cut the piece off, but it's when the piece is more dry and you're less likely to damage it. Or it can be avoided by using plaster bats. They're bats that have been poured out of plaster and you throw on them, and as the piece dries it shrinks and removes itself from the bat. It just pops off. But those are the last two pieces in the beginner's tool set. Those are all the beginner's tools you'll need to throw your first pieces of pottery on the wheel.